Good afternoon. My name is Rakhi Voria. I'm a student at Colorado College and I'm studying international political economy. This past fall, I had the opportunity to take part in ACM Chicago's newest program, the Business, Entrepreneurship, and Society program here in Chicago. This program sort of introduces and builds upon some of the central themes of entrepreneurship and innovation, like creativity and problem solving. And essentially, we use Chicago as a major urban center as our classroom. Our program was guided by Robin Hart, and the program consisted of 4 key components. The first one was Core Course, which was basically an interdisciplinary program where we learned about how arts and business and socioeconomic and political issues intertwine. Additionally, we had an internship component. I worked at Starcom Media Vest Group, a large marketing firm in Chicago, as a search analyst intern. So basically, I helped clients like Disney optimize their visibility online. I also took part in a practicum, a social enterprise practicum, where we explored themes like corporate social responsibility and read various case studies on entrepreneurs and social enterprises. And finally, the largest component of the program was our seminar, where we did readings on entrepreneurship and innovation and attended several business events in Chicago, like the Chicago Innovation Awards, and visited several Chicago-based startup companies like Groupon, if any of you are familiar with that. And the largest component of the seminar was actually to create our very own business from start to finish, and then presenting it to a panel of investors at the end of the creation and get their feedback on our companies and our experiences and presentation skills. So for my presentation, I'd like to share with you a little bit about the experience I had creating that business and tell you a little bit about the challenges and the fun parts and the miserable parts and the hard parts, and ultimately just share with you how it ended up being one of the best projects I've actually ever done. And so I'll just give you some brief information about the business that we came up with and the process that we went through, and then finally close by giving you some of the key takeaways that I got from working on the project. So my group consisted of 4 people. Our business was called LastMinuteChicago.com, and essentially after living in Chicago for a few weeks, our group started losing a lot of money to unused tickets to various events around the city. So we saw a need for a forum that's specifically for those who are in a hurry to either get rid of or buy tickets in Chicago at the last minute. So concerts, sporting events, symphonies, operas, you name it. But our mission was to be the premier ticket connector for buyers and sellers to safely exchange their tickets to events in Chicago. So we went through a large, long, arduous process. We started by getting some concept testing evidence. We hope to gather information about the attitudes and preferences and needs of Chicagoans to see whether or not the secondary ticketing market was even a place that we should be looking at. So we wanted to know how much they were willing to pay and hone in on some of our analytical and research skills. So we did this by holding a focus group, which a lot of ACM programs people helped us with. And then we also distributed an online survey. We completed an industry analysis, so basically we looked at what the industry looked like and whether or not it was feasible for us to have a viable business in that industry. We did a competitive analysis, so we looked at all of our competitors and did a complete economic analysis of what set our company apart in terms of our competitors. We had a marketing plan that was very specific to Chicago, so we contacted the CTA and asked them how much it would cost to advertise in some of their car parks, and researched local venues to see how we could get our name out in the city. We connected with some Chicago resources and basically consulted with them, and we sort of capitalized on the contacts that we gained through the business program to get feedback from our Chicago resources that we had just made. So one of our group members actually found a company that would host our website for free, and I was able to talk to the people at my internship to get some consulting on how to optimize our visibility online. And then another group member worked at a chamber of commerce who would actually advertise for us for free. So But the hardest part was probably coming up with an actual business plan and financial projections. We really needed to have a company that would actually sustain itself, and it was hard to do the business projections, but fortunately we had a math major in our group, which helped. So we utilized all of our strengths to work together as a team in order to complete this project. Here are some photographs from our final pitch where we pitched to investors. Quickly trying to get everything done. And those were the actual investors who gave us feedback at the end of our presentation. So some of the key takeaways, there are plenty. As I reflect on this experience, I realized that actually creating a business was far different from anything that we had ever actually read about. Doing something versus just reading about it gave us a vastly different experience, I think, and we learned about the intricacies of starting an actual business, which was a unique and perfect way to supplement what we had been reading about and all the people that we had met with in order to truly learn about entrepreneurship. So Robin sort of threw us into it, and we all got frustrated at times, but I think each of us can walk away today fully knowing that what we learned and what we did actually had value. And I'd like to just quickly go over a few of the things that I personally took away. The key takeaways in creating a business are especially important to me because I feel like they're lessons that are going to help me in any project that I ever have. And the first one is building relationships. I learned that through the Chicago resources that we met, building the relationships with everyone on your team, you're going to have a head start in terms of developing intelligence. And the second one is clearly understanding what good looks like is really the first stage of planning for the future. Right people, right place, right time. I think it's really important to decide what is needed and who and when and where. Consistent performance when change happens unexpectedly, which it did often. We have to never give up. Confidence grows as you continue to build and stretch who you are. It's cultural. We learned that positivity really generates a shift in your business culture. There are many winners, we learned. It's really important to be efficient with your time. It's important to manage your performance. And finally, it's important to actually create value. So this specific project taught me so many broader lessons that I think will stay with me forever. And I feel confident that I could actually be an entrepreneur one day if I chose to do so. So thank you to Robin and Dave and Mary and Dorothy and everyone for the Chicago programs for such a life-changing experience. Thank you.